Hello, here we are into week 2 of the MOOC, and just a couple of things I wanted to comment on this occasion. One question that's come up a number of times is around the issue of scope, and particularly what happens if you find that whatever you thought you wanted to do changes, or you realise that you never really were all that certain about what it was you wanted. One of the questioners said, well, does this mean you have to go back and start all over again, rip up your contract? And the answer to that is no, not if you had the right form of contract. And that, of course, is a lot of what the purpose of being a more proficient and more informed contracts and commercial expert is, I suppose, about. Because indeed, one of the major things that goes wrong is when companies set up the wrong form of agreement, the wrong type of and structure for their relationship. So in the event that there are reasons to either question the accuracy or the completeness of those requirements and that scope, or where you believe that there's a very high likelihood of significant change that will affect what you thought you wanted to do, that's when you start to use devices such as agile contracts or perhaps relational forms of contracts. So there are certainly a variety of designs here. Contracts aren't one-size-fits-all models, unless, of course, the corporation, the organization, has tried to impose that one-size-fits-all. And again, that takes us back to the reason that so many of these contracts and agreements fail, because they really weren't fit for purpose. I hope that gives you a little bit of a sense, even though it's a very brief summary, obviously, of quite a complicated subject. The other thing I'd like to comment on is the Google Hangout from this week, which was featuring 4 young recruits into this field, or at least in 3 cases recruits into the field. In the 4th case, actually a current law student who's had some experience in an intern role and was giving her observations about this as a field of activity, as a possible career path. The other 3 have already made that selection at varying levels, one of them being an Argentinian rugby international just fresh from the World Cup. And I think it was a great conversation featuring the perceptions, the perspectives of 4 young people who are just new to this field and yet are already finding it to be something that is fascinating in terms of its breadth, in terms of the range of different people they finish up working with and talking to, and are excited by the opportunities that this career can offer them. I know one of the questions that they addressed was the impact that technology may have. Many of you probably in your local media have been following the increasing forecasts of the massive job losses that are going to occur as a result of digital technologies. So, of course, one of the big questions is, what's safe? What can I go and work in if, in fact, the practice of law and medicine and many of the traditional professions are eroding, as well as many of the blue-collar jobs that one often expects and associates with technology change, then what's safe? What can I really apply myself to? Well, we'll be talking more about that, in fact, in the final Google Hangout next week, when we'll be looking in detail at the impacts of technology on the world of contracting. But for now, thank you again for all of the comments and ideas that you've been putting in on the message boards, and for the tremendous enthusiasm which is evident in many of those comments. It's great for us as moderators of the program to see that it's inspiring so many people with some great thoughts. Bye for now.